No jokes today, we have a serious topic at hand, a very important one. Colon is the large intestine, also known as the large bowel, the part of the intestine in charge of absorbing water and creating and storing feces before they're expelled. What? Can't you see that I'm busy? Yes, I get it. Colon theory. A typo? Ah, but of course, caller. Are you sure you don't want to know how feces are expelled? Fine, we can talk about it while we're having dinner with your parents. We all make mistakes. We can keep improving our colon, or we can accept them and expel them through our rectum. I'm Mr. Feelgood, colon connoisseur and digital artist. I like to draw these things. I swear I will stop talking about poo now and get to the tutorial. If this is your first time watching me, please consider watching my past videos to better understand what I'm talking about here. If you have been following the previous videos, you probably have been practicing with grayscales to properly understand how light works in a 2D environment. Well, forget about it, pal, because today we're delving into the vibrant world of colors. This is the color wheel, a practical visual guide to color mixing. For millennia, scholars discussed colors, from Aristotle in ancient times to Leonardo da Vinci during the Renaissance. The wheel you see here was originally designed by Isaac Newton, who thought that white light was actually a mixture of immutable spectral colors, a rainbow basically. We got warm colors on one side and colder ones on the other. Electronics use a different type of color mixing more suited to their format, respectively the RGB scale for computers, red, green, blue, and the CMYK for printing, cyan, magenta, yellow, key, or black. The first is more suited to creating the white color, and is probably the one you will see and use in your computer program, while the second is better for mixing colors to create black for printing. Most kids and artists learn how color work with the RYB scale, red, yellow, blue, because it was believed to be able to create all the colors with only these three cuties. This is not really possible in real life, but the theory stuck anyway. On the RYB, we got three main colors, the primary ones: red magenta, yellow canary, and blue cyan. Mixing these colors with one another will generate the secondary colors: orange, red and yellow, purple, red and blue, and green, blue and yellow. It does not end there. You can blend the secondary colors with the primary, creating tertiary colors like violet, teal, and amber. Mix these even further and you get quaternary colors, which will start to look more muddy, going for the brown or grey look. Let us look at the colors on the wheel present on Krita for a second. We have three important elements we got to understand here. Hue, this is the pure basic color. Could be red, yellow, blue, orange, etc. Value, is the color light or dark? A brighter tint or a darker shade? Think about the two opposite extremes of the grayscale. You're either mixing a bit or a lot of white or black to your base color. Saturation. On one opposite of the spectrum, you got the most vibrant version of your color. On the other, you got the dullest, basically gray. When you're working with grayscale, you were using a color with no saturation whatsoever. Krita has this nice and simple visualization tool. Otherwise, some programs like Photoshop show you these three bars, which are the same thing. Hue at the top, saturation in the middle, and value at the bottom. These are regarded as the HSB sliders. Is that too much? Perhaps I can talk more about the colon. I had so many poo jokes ready for the occasion. No? Suit yourself. Anyway, with that out of the way, how about we learn some cool combos? Monochromatic formula is the easiest, but the most boring. Pick one hue and only change the value in saturation. It is just like using grayscale, but with one saturated color instead of gray. Complementary colors are a great and easy combination, but they stick out a lot, so bear that in mind. On the color wheel, the complementary colors are the ones opposite to one another, usually the third primary color with the secondary of the other two. Classic examples range from red-green, blue-orange, which is featured in a bazillion movie posters, and yellow-purple. Analogous colors are another easy combination. You're basically picking three hues that are close to one another on the wheel. One has to be more influential than the others, normally a primary or secondary. Which one is down to your taste? Think of the other two as more of a support role. Triadic colors are quite popular since they offer a wider variety of hues while keeping the color harmony intact. To obtain these three bad boys, you have to picture an equilateral triangle in the center of your color wheel. The edges will be touching your three triadic colors. On the downside, the triadic match does not stand out as much as normal complementary pairs. Tetradic schemes are where things are starting to get complicated. They work similarly to the triadic ones, but this time you're either putting a square or a rectangle on the color wheel. Both schemes offer a lot of variation, but they're hard to manage, so it is best to pick one of the four colors as your main one. Damn, and these combos only deal with hues. You can really go crazy with colors. Anything with low saturation will not stand out as much, but it will enhance anything next to it that is instead saturated. Value 2 can greatly enhance your illustration. Pick close hues on the wheel, but with opposite values, like a dark blue and a light purple. This way you get higher contrast, easily readable, and plenty of shades to work with. Another easy trick involving both value and saturation is called the divergence scheme. Pick two hues and use them as described on the monochromatic formula. Then find a third color that brings them together. Normally an achromatic one, such as black, white, or brown, or anything in between. This way you get on your illustration two defined areas, plus a neutral element that ties them together. For many years, I struggled big time with colors, because to use them is not necessarily difficult, but to apply them with harmony is a real challenge. But since you're working with a computer, make sure to exploit its advantages as much as you can. First of all, look for photos of illustration whose colors tickle your fancy. It is really that simple in the end. You can even find tons of ready-made palettes for you to use at your leisure. Second, if you're a bit nervous to start with, keep on painting using grayscales, and once you're done, create a new layer on top and multiply or overlay the colors over your blocking. This way you only have to worry about your hues, but the small nuances of colors might get a bit lost. If it still looks a bit off, create another layer on top and fill the whole canvas with one color and overlay. Tone it down or up, according to your taste. This might make your illustration more uniform, but again, it might make you lose a bit of its natural charm. I do this all the time, but I usually make it really subtle. Gradients come in really handy here. Lastly, remember that in the end you only need 3 tones. Remember them? They were alongside all this time. What up, mid-tone? How's the family?
My wife left me and took away the kids.
Oh, okay. What about you, Highlight? I got a weird lump under my foot. What foot? You're an hypothetical concept, a sphere. The right one. Tough luck. I'm afraid to ask, but how are you, Shadow?
Can't complain, but I wish you talked more about the colon.
Same. Well, good for you. Anyway, with this notion out of the way, I got a couple more personal hints to recommend to you. Avoid using super saturated colors all the way around, unless you're doing it for stylistic choices, of course. But I normally use the most vibrant color for accent or highlights. If everything looks too colorful, nothing looks colorful, you know what I mean? Just like in life, you can't just eat pizza and chicken nuggets for every meal, or they get boring after a while. Strike the right balance to captivate your viewers, and eat some fruit and veg to help your colon out.
Nice. I like chicken nuggets.
Also remember that shadows are not necessarily pitch black. Look at them in real life. Shadows only darken the color they're casted on. They do not completely hide it. Use full black for them only as a stylistic choice. As a last piece of advice, do you remember when we talked about mood in the last lesson? Think about it before you start applying color on your canvas. Warmer colors will convey to your viewer energy and joy, while colder tones will do the opposite. I hate the default white background. It is so jarring and feels like a punch in the eyes. When I'm in a spooky mood, I make it all black, so that even a few drops of color will really stand out. Otherwise, apply a flat color in the back. A big purple background will instantly give you a piece of mystical feel, while a light orange sky will convey sunset vibes. There is so much more to talk about, but I feel like I already gave you so much information to process. Your brain colon must be pretty packed by now.
Lol. Brain poo. I miss my kids. Shut up.
I will close the lesson by giving away my favorite color combination. These cuties never let me down. They are perfect for any vaporwave inspired illustration and can be both spooky and funky. Hard to believe, but we're almost done with the basic tutorials. Feels like yesterday when I started making these. On the next episode, we will tackle some tips to improve your experience while digitally illustrating, how to make the whole process faster and more enjoyable. Until next time, stay safe and look after yourself. Here is Mr. Feelgood. Bless your face.